Welcome, everybody. John Zager, johnzager.com. How is everybody today? I hope well and doing well anyway, having a good day. It's a little cloudy here on the eastern slope in Colorado, and supposed to be okay, supposed to get up to 50, high 50s. And I think tomorrow, Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be okay as well. We're going to be overcast. I'm getting better at being a weatherman. I just look out the window. And then I think Thursday and Friday we got snow coming in. I had seen that on the West Coast there's a big winter storm coming in that's supposed to impact, I don't know, the western United States. A lot of snow up in the Sierras and on into the Rockies and that sort of thing in the next few days. So, I don't know. It's trying to get to be spring, but looks like it's going to revert back to winter for a couple days. I'm drinking hot green tea, and it's delicious. Just delicious. So, I'm not going to spend a lot of time today. I want to go through some of the neuroscience tools that we've all acquired over the past couple years. And if you've been listening to me, you are aware of most all of them. And if you've been listening to Dr. Joe, of course, Dr. Joe Dispenza, by all means, you are acquainted with them. And kind of want to talk about, since we're in sort of a turbulent time in the world, on the globe, America and all the other countries are included in this, and it's not just particular to the United States, but, you know, our virus situation that seems to be going on is causing some havoc with people for various reasons. And the thing that I notice, and I've been kind of paying attention to it, I guess a little bit, and you know, there's a lot of people panic buying. They're just in a panic. I'm not quite sure what they think is going to happen, but the whole concept of buying toilet paper is befuddling to me, and you can't find toilet paper anywhere. So I guess that's important if you have a virus, of course, because you need to use a fair amount of toilet paper. But you know, viruses last for only so long, and in the case of regular kind of viruses, worst case scenario, of course, is that you die or you get over it and you don't need to use toilet paper anymore. But people are buying grocery carts full of toilet paper. You know, so be it, but there's people that I think are elderly that probably need a roll or two of toilet paper from time to time. And by hoarding what you're taking there, you're disallowing those people the privilege to wipe their butt, have some toilet paper. And what's causing that? What's triggering that? Here's the way that, let me see. It talks about it in The Secret. The book, The Secret, right, you guys? And obviously there's all kinds of people out there that do podcasts and YouTube videos on it. And I was just trying to grab it real quick and look up a thing, but I'm not going to be able to do it quick enough. So here's the deal. You attract what you think, right? You attract what you feel. You attract what your emotions are. You attract, your personality, how you think, act, and feel. Correct? So here's this deal. Everybody's going along at their own pace, in their own way. And all of a sudden, there becomes a new virus. I mean, there's these viruses that pop up it seems like 2 years or 3 years, and they become, fairly severe, and people get sick, and there are some deaths associated with them. And here we are in this situation. Everybody's going along fine, and all of a sudden we have this virus that, I don't know, I'm not in charge of having the understanding of how all that stuff works. Seems to be that, and in more cases than not, it starts with an animal somewhere and it gets passed on to humans, and then it gets blown up and out of proportion from there, and people are not careful enough so that it spreads. So we have people with personalities that are attracting sickness, ill health, trauma, disease, things like that, just in normal everyday life. Their personalities, how they think, act, and feel, are thinking, acting, and feeling in such a manner that's negative enough to upregulate dis-ease genes into their body, and eventually they acquire a disease or an ill health or a sickness or a trauma or who knows what. And then there are the people who have a personality such where they think, act, and feel, and it's fairly positive. It's just positive. They understand life is not always fair, but for the most part, they're going along fine. They're just, living their life, taking care of their kids or whatever, and going to work and trying to get better and working on the house and, taking vacations, just stuff, helping people, being of service where they can. And a virus comes along, and for those positive people, it isn't a panic. It's not a do or die. It's not an all or none. They're comfortable with who they are. They're comfortable with the way they think, the way they feel, how they act. They're comfortable with their service to their fellow man, their kindness, their love towards one another. They understand that, at some point in their lives, they will die. And they're at peace and they're content with that. Do they want that to happen? No, of course not. And so a virus that gets blown out of proportion, and this one's clearly blown out of proportion and has become what do they call that, a pandemic? Pandemic, I guess. I guess that's the highest level that they can go, because it has crossed into most every country and has caused much sickness, ill health, disease, and death, and dying. But not to the magnitude. I mean, I'm just going with, what do they call it, CDC? I'm just going with statistics that are put out by world government. You understand? They collect all this stuff, and then they can statistically say to people around the world, here's what we have and here's what we have to deal with. I'm assuming that's probably fairly accurate, okay? And what we've been hearing is that the common flu that's been around forever and ever kills more people, has killed more people in the world by 10 times more than what this current virus is doing. Now, it's horrific. It's horrific that one person should die, right? But it's a tragedy when these countries are having people die 100 overnight, okay? But let's take a look at that for what it is. There's a lot of countries that are not as advanced as first world countries. What would that be? The United States, Canada, China, Japan, Europe. I mean, there's various countries that have more advanced medical treatment abilities than maybe second and third world countries do. Italy, I guess, is a pretty fair-to-do country, but they're getting pounded over there, and there has even been information put out that their medical treatment ability is just about broke. So we kind of have to take it in perspective. And the United States, I can speak there about that because I live here, and I try to listen each day to what the president's saying and his counsel and the CDC, and just try to get as accurate of information as I can. All that they're doing is putting out general information that everybody out here should already have of how to take precautionary steps to reduce the spiking in the number of deaths that could possibly occur if this virus just goes ballistic and everybody spreads it amongst themselves. I don't have any problem with that. Stay at home. Stay out of the restaurants and the bars and the events going on in your town or county or state or whatever. I mean, just stay away. Stay away for a period of time. I don't know what that is, a few weeks or whatever. I don't know. I suppose it could be a month or two, but until the thing dies down, until they have a handle on it. Just common sense. Just common sense. But the people, on the other hand, that without a virus, just in everyday life, that are attracting disease, are the people that are out there panic-ridden, driving around, buying, I don't know what the hell they're buying, toilet paper or something. And they're hoarding it. They're trying to not be conscious of the other person down the block, the old lady, the old man that lives down the hall, the block, and the apartments across the street. The family that has kids that, instead of thinking about the disadvantaged, those that are not able to fend for themselves, these people are, self-absorbed, narcissistically, the world centers around me approach of I will do anything I have to do to survive, even if it means your ill health and death. Okay, so let's stop right there. And this isn't going to be a real long video. I was thinking of doing YouTube, which I will do here in a few minutes, but just to finish this podcast. If you have that frame of mind that I'm more important, and gosh darn it, I'm going to get all the toilet paper It's almost hilarious. I'm going to get all the toilet paper I can possibly get in these 2 carts that I can push and use every ounce of money I have. Because for some reason, I don't know, you poop more than another person or something. I don't care if I'm hurting another individual or family or group of people. Those people with that attitude will and are upregulating as they're hoarding and taking all of the resource off the store shelves, disease into their bodies. Let me say that one more time. This is just plain science, you guys. This is not John Zager on a rant. Has nothing to do with me being on a rant. I'm trying to put out in black and white how you become diseased, how you upregulate disease genes into your body. If your mental faculties say, I am so self-absorbed and scared and panicking that I don't care if another person gets the disease and dies, but I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get all of the resources in my court, you are, at that very moment, instant, nanosecond, upregulating disease genes into your body, and the likelihood is you'll end up dying before that person that doesn't even have toilet paper. Do you get that, you guys? Do you get that? In a regular world, and it has nothing really to do with toilet paper, it's the whole concept of their mental structure on how they're upregulating. In a normal goings about the world without a virus spreading all over, if your mental faculties say to you, I don't care about that person or that family or that child or that old person, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to put myself in a one-up position. And if they die, I don't care. At that very moment, without a virus going around the world, if that's the way you think, act, and feel, you are upregulating disease genes into your body, and you will acquire ill health before those other people. So it's kind of important that everybody kind of do a heads up and reevaluate what's really going on in their head. Okay? There's a couple things that we teach. Neuroscience wants you to learn. The law of attraction wants you to learn. Let me just say my most favorite saying, I think, this year, actually the past 6 months. Ignorance is a choice. Ignorance is a choice. So if there's all this wealth of information going on out there with encouraging people to meditate and just going down the myriad amount of positive effects of meditation, and if you ignore that, that's the ignorance I'm talking about. If you're given information, education, teaching, guidance, counseling, coaching with scientific facts to make you healthier and the world around you healthier, and you ignore that and abuse that, that's ignorance. And you're at that very moment, if that's your personality, you are up-regulating diseased genes in that nanosecond. I don't know how to. Sometimes I don't know. I've been doing these podcasts and YouTube and blogs for quite a few years, actually, and I get no response. I mean, a lot of the times I get no response, and things seem to, as I look out and go about my daily activities, it just seems like things are getting worse sometimes, because people have no interest in acquiring that education and information. And then I take it a step further and I say, why don't they want to help the person next to them? Be of some service to the world, to people, to the globe. So, I don't know. Meditation is a tool. Meditation is a main tool. Meditation is probably the leading tool to help changing that negative personality. You've heard Dr. Joe and others with the law of attraction talk about, you have to become somebody else. Obviously, your old personality got you sick through your thoughts and emotions and actions and whatnot. And you kind of have to become, as they say, not me. I agree with them 100%. You got to become somebody else. You got to change that personality. You got to, as Dr. Joe says, change, what does he say? You have to cross the river of change. You can't abuse people and be so negative and so short and so aggressive and so just discounting to human life that you're not going to acquire a disease. It's, I don't know, it's just stuff I don't understand. Another tool, meditation, you guys. You can learn how to meditate all over the internet. There's all kinds of people, groups of people, channels. There's all kinds of places you can go in your community where they teach you how to meditate. Most all of this stuff is free. I mean, when I look around in my community, everything that has to do with meditation is pretty much free. The positive aspects of meditation are just overwhelming. And do people do it? No. No, they don't. I know people right now that are sick. They're basically dying. They have a prognosis where it's better for me to complain and bitch and moan and go public on the internet day in and day out about what a rotten deal I've gotten. What a rotten place I live. I'll go over here. What a rotten place I live here. Every single thing is negative. And it's just... and then you hear them say, Thank you for being concerned about my pain and suffering. What the hell is that about? If your mental capacity is no better than, I want to keep my sickness, my disease, my progressive illness, my terminal disease. I want to keep all that. And I want to bitch and moan and moan and moan. And why is it getting any better? Why would it get any better? Well, these people send me information about meditation. One time I went to a little meditation thing and I stayed for, 10 or 15 minutes. But I didn't get cured. Ignorance is a choice. I will do anything in my power to help anybody with any of those sundry negative personality disorders. But if you don't want the help, it isn't going to do any good. I'd be just talking to the wall. I have been talking to the wall. And I just let people know that I'm out there. And if they ever decide they want to contact me and think in terms of recovery, they're welcome to. So there's a lot of those people out there that are creating a lot of negative thinking on our globe right now. And they've even gotten this to the point of it's a political thing. This president's bad. This political person's better. What does that have to do with a virus? What does that have to do with a virus? You have a group of people in each country. There is a panel. There is a group of people that collectively are running how to deal with the pandemic in their particular country. How can you label that group of people in that particular country as good or bad? Use Italy as an example again. I'm sure they're doing a marvelous job with the intelligence and the talent that they have, but they're stretched to the breaking point. Is that a negative? No. Other countries will step in. That's the way we're designed. Here's the deal. The virus that is now a pandemic based on negative people that upregulate disease and are self-absorbed and have no desire to do anything for the betterment of the other. We need to provide more information, more education, more science, more statistics, more love, more empathy. We need to reach out to these negative people and somehow inspire them to do the right thing. Maybe you don't need to go bowling. Oh, bowling alleys are closed. Maybe you don't need to go out for a few weeks. I don't have a problem with somebody who needs a couple groceries, run out to the grocery store for 15, 20 minutes and pick something up if you run out. But being angry and hostile and demeaning just is the wrong thing. It's going to get you sick quicker, and it's not going to help the rest of us. Go back and read some books. Dr. Joe Dispenza has an array of just well thought out and presented books on neuroscience and healing. And the little book, The Secret, which is, was kind of in the beginning of the whole thing. Go back and read that. I mean, all of these books, it doesn't matter. You can go to the library and get them if you can't afford to buy them. Start reading. You're going to be in the house now for the next few weeks, or longer. I don't know. I have no idea. This book, the Bible, go open it up. We're not even able to go to church or to go to services right now, and you can watch your church or services online. You can read the Bible online. You can talk to a clergy person online. You don't have to go get the books even. But everybody probably has a Bible. So, I've gone way too long. I kind of did get on a rant there, didn't I? But I guess all I'm trying to do is just point out that the world's not falling apart. This will all pass. And hopefully we will be better as a result of that. And hopefully we will learn a lesson in how to react to tough situations. We're in a tough situation right now. I don't think the world's over. I don't think the world's ending. I don't think we're going to have a bazillion people dying. I think we have a virus that's causing a lot of people to get sick. And as with all viruses, there's going to be casualties and deaths. And I feel very, very bad about that. But my job is to do whatever it is that I can do, that I might have some knowledge or some access to other people to listen. Here's my last statement. Been doing clinical psychology for, I say 43, but it started in me to talk to you and answer the questions that I might have some knowledge that can help. If you need support, I'm available. Whatever you want, just call me up. Find me. I'm easy. I'm all over the internet. So maybe it's good that we look after one another in whatever capacity we have that would be for the betterment of the world. So hope everybody has a good day. God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and I look forward to talking to y'all again real soon. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.